to the world of Mercury. If the sun is king and the moon is queen, Mercury would be the prince and princess of the kingdom. Mercury represents the energy of children, our childhood development after the infancy period, going into the toddler stage, where we are making sense of the world by exploring and developing our five senses of touch, sight, smell, taste, and hearing. This is the period where we start formulating ideas about our world. We start having a real relationship with the world, the people around us, and we get to know our own bodies. So, to sum up all these developments in a single word would be our communication. Ultimately, this is what Mercury rules. Our intellect, communication, and understanding of the world around us. On a global scale, this manifests as our financial markets and the world of trade and commerce. So Mercury has a strong influence on business and finance. Mercury is also the development of speech and our intellect, comprehension and theoretical knowledge we receive and process. So we can see that this naturally leads us down the path of intellect and intelligence. So all our geniuses, professors, have a special relationship with Mercury. Although in our world today, this would manifest as people working in tech and the STEM fields. All form of communication from the ancient world to documenting up until the modern world of computers and smartphones. The internet and all telecommunication networks are under the domain of this fascinating planet. Learning and our education systems are also under the domain of Mercury. The development of sensory understanding, the development of intellect, the development of speech and independence that first develops when a toddler finally learns how to walk and is able to feed itself and use the bathroom by itself. This development is represented by Mercury. All our famous actors, public speakers, comedians, and great minds in education have shown the highest manifestation of mercurial qualities. All the great literature comes under the domain of Mercury, especially the literature that is scholarly. The music of classical, scholarly nature also comes under the domain of Mercury. The Greek god Mercury is also known as the god of trade and industry, which again shows the commercial interests of Mercury. The deity presiding over the planet is Lord Vishnu, who forms under the Trimurti, which also includes Brahma, the creator, and Shiva, the destroyer. Vishnu is the one that has the preservation of all of life on this plane. The female consort of Vishnu is Lakshmi, who is also known as the goddess of wealth and abundance, which further highlights the association of Mercury and the world of trade and our financial markets from a commerce point of view. The preservation of our world is dependent on how well we are able to communicate and trade with other countries, as we know that the real preserver of our material world is a thriving economy and business culture. We should also include all the stock market investors, accountants, and the people who run the world of commerce as having a very special relationship with Mercury. The Greek equivalent of Lord Vishnu would probably be the god Apollo, who has both the energies of the Sun and Mercury. As we know, Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun in our solar system. The other special deity that has a direct association with Mercury is Hermes, the god of travelers, boundaries, roads, speed, cunning wit, and messages. The other deity would be the son of Vishnu, Narada, who is known for being a famous traveler, musician, and storyteller, who traveled spreading good news and wisdom. He was also gifted with the title of being the king of all sages and given the boon of having the knowledge of the past, present, and future. Narada also had knowledge of war, wealth, and wisdom. He was also known as the first cosmic messenger to Earth. To sum it all up, Mercury has developed our world as we know it, and how we communicate with one another and the world, and development of language, numbers, and the structures of understanding. All the books recorded, events, and information technology is all under the domain of Mercury. Our basic education system, the early childhood development, is all about the energy of Mercury. Mercury is ruling the sign of Gemini. It is exalted in the sign of Virgo. And both these energies or signs have to do with information, development, order, and structure. Again, more on these as we step into the knowledge of the houses later. Mercury does not do well in the sign of Pisces, as this sign is more about intuition and religious inclinations. It is outside the usual structure of understanding our practical world. To continue the kingdom, next we will be looking at the army general of the sun, the king. This is the chief that protects the kingdom, the warrior, Mars.